Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I have a special message as we have the last day of the year. Today we actually have 123 portal. So there's a 31st of December, the 12th month of the year in 2023. So 123 is a really significant combination that we often see when we start seeing synchronicities, and it's often related to the power of momentum that's happening in our lives when we start making certain changes, or we start working on something, or we start making more important or taking more important decisions, making greater choices that are about to improve our lives. We start to see usually this kind of synchronicity 1 to 3, and today's day is really special one because many people are celebrating it, many people are reflecting on the past. So the energy of gratitude is really strong, potent, and if you observe the Schumann frequency, the energy of the planet Earth, you will see there were huge pikes. So the energy is really strong right now, and I want to give you a special message for today's day before we end it up, before we package this year into a box of gratitude and we move on with enthusiasm for another cycle of growth, of expansion, of spiritual evolution. So 1 to 3, my friend, you're going through something really incredible right now. I don't know how much you're aware of that, but I'm sure that the future will show you all the fruits of your efforts. And usually when it comes to this combination, it also comes to the understanding of completeness. Sometimes, we come to a certain completion of what we've been working in the past only because we are ready for something new. That's why reflection is so important, to recognize where we've started forcing the process only because we don't like how things are turning out and we're actually ready for something new. So just be aware a little bit of that, and now we can go further with the message. Today you are beginning to see that it all starts and ends with you. Stop trying to be liked or accepted by those who don't see your worth, my friend. You already know that all respect starts with self-respect, acceptance starts with self-acceptance, and worthiness starts with self-worth. Honor yourself. It transforms you into a completely different person when you embrace your beauty and strength. Be powerful and walk in strength. May your mess turn into a message and rejection into motivation. This is, my friend, a new beginning for you. Your past and everything that wasn't going your way ends here. Right now you're leaving it behind because a new cycle is emerging for you. So as we're ending this year, today, the last day of this year, I wanted to make this last message of this year. Firstly, to say thanks to all of you for being here. And before we start, I want you to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and check out our Instagram page, AttractPassion, where I'm sharing daily messages, daily reminders that can elevate your spirit. And also, I'm inviting you into a giveaway that ends today. So today is the last day. You can enter the giveaway to win a free print of the painting, The Spirit Guide. So check it out on my Instagram page, I Draw My Passion. So AttractPassion and I Draw My Passion. And also thanks to all of you for joining our Patreon community. So yeah, my friends, firstly, I want to say thanks for being here, for being a part of this community that is growing really fast, and I'm just happy to be here in a position of a messenger. But firstly, I want to acknowledge you because there would be no me without you, and I would never be doing that if there would be no one to show up. So I want to say thanks for being here, for listening, for finding my work valuable, for supporting my art, for supporting me as an artist. Anytime, each of you purchase my painting, with that you're supporting my creativity, and This gives me a feeling that my work is valuable, and for that I want to acknowledge you. So thank you, my friend. Thank you from my heart. And I've decided to give you this last message of this year as something to just to be reminded of. So firstly, a wise man once said, sometimes the best thing you can do is to not think, not wonder, not imagine, and not obsess. Just breathe and have faith that everything will work out for the best. And I want to start with these words of wisdom, because sometimes we're, too focused on how to do something and how something should happen and what is the right way and what is the right method and how to find a shortcut and so on. While the most incredible realizations that came to me was the time when I was meditating, the time before I've fallen into sleep. Sometimes we lay into bed and just before we fall into sleep a realization hits us. And to me it often happens like that. Often I get inspiration for my videos or inspiration for my art. Sometimes when I finish a painting, I get a vision for the next one. So it's a reminder that usually our thinking processes actually kill the process of creative transformation. And what we need to learn the most is to surrender. I think surrendering and trusting are two most important skills that will be necessary in the future. So look at the year 2024 as the year of surrendering and trusting. I think I've been talking a lot about it in my recent videos. But those are the things we need to be reminded of, because we have this deep programming within our minds of constant thinking and constant obsessing over something and having certain beliefs and having affirmations, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that as long as it works for us. But it's really hard for many of us to let go of thinking, to stop thinking and to be present, to be mindful and to really be just content in this moment, in our bodies, and recognizing that we are life. We are life, which means that we are alive, but we are, and that's enough. I am, and that's enough. To just remind ourselves, I am, and that's enough. No words needed after that. Just I am that I am, right? In the story when Moses asked God what's his name so he can tell the people who gave him this information and insights and lessons and laws and so on. And God said, I am that I am. So that's how to connect with God. That's how to connect with Spirit. To recognize that there's nothing that defines you. Nothing that defines you. You can be undefined. So you become whole. I am, right? Sure, we don't stay in this state all day long because we are a work in progress. But establish a worry-free time in your life. This is something that helps me in my life so much. I have this worry-free time. Doesn't matter how bad my life may be, even though it's not, because I'm working on myself. So I'm grateful for how my life is going, but doesn't matter how challenging certain situations sometimes are or how stressful something may be, I have a worry-free time where I say, okay, this is the time where I'm not thinking about work, I'm not thinking about people, I'm not thinking about anything. I am just me. I am that I am. And if you manage yourself the way that you will always have time for worry-free time, you will be able to recognize that actually when you take time for yourself, you notice what truly matters to you. you easily decide what to let go of. You easily decide what to leave behind. So as we're ending this year, I think it's great if you think a little bit about what to leave behind, what today you're leaving behind, what weights today you're shaking off your shoulders, what mess will be transmuted into a message and wisdom will be took from it, and anything that's poisoning you will be left behind. So you tap into this higher version of yourself that is wiser, that sees things clearly, that has well-established habits, and has left behind the version of yourself that is unorganized, that is all over the place, that is procrastinating, that is not taking action, that is overthinking, that is over distracting yourself, that is constantly scrolling on social media or complaining or judging others or whatever. You're leaving this behind, and you're embodying that you that knows what matters, that has clarity around values, that has certain principles that are improving your life. I want to encourage you actually to write down principles that work for you. If you take a moment and take a piece of paper and write down what worked for you until now. In this year, in the recent years, what worked for you spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, maybe in relationships, what worked for you? What helped you to resolve a conflict? What helped you to increase your financial flow? What helped you to be more at peace with yourself? What helped you to be more present? What helped you to be more organized? What helped you to be more creative? What helped you to be more mindful? What helped you to be more connected with God, with spirit? What helped you to be more yourself? What helped you to say no more often and yes to yourself more often? What helped you to be devoted to your values? What helped you to spend more time with your family, to spend more time with people you love? What helped you to speak your truth? In the past, there were moments when you did that. And I think the only reason why people so often fall into misery is because they don't have these principles. They don't have clarity around these principles. We all have accomplished something great in our lives. We all have experienced incredible transformations in our lives. We all have been broke at certain point, most probably many of us, and we all have come to a certain degree of richness. Doesn't matter what kind, we've all come to a certain degree of richness. But between one state and another, there was a choice. There was actually momentum of choices. And these choices should become our principles. That's what I'm doing. This is what I did to experience this kind of changes. When I've changed my energy, when I've changed my attitude, when I've changed my actions, this happened after that as a byproduct. The law of cause and effect, right? Everything vibrates. Nothing stays the same. Everything is changing. Everything is flowing. But in that stream of flow, if we stay stuck to a certain way of thinking, acting, and being, we are not experiencing the changes that we wish to see. That's why I love this quote by Mahatma Gandhi, be the change that you wish to see. This is my most important quote, and I'm trying to live by it. I'm trying to stay true to it every single day. And sometimes we just need to feel how we feel when we have this worry-free time, as I mentioned, to recognize what is the truth. You know, when I am in this peaceful state, I recognize I think differently. I think differently. I look at my future differently. I look at my past and my hurts differently. I speak differently. My voice is different. My body posture is different. My facial expression is different. When I'm at peace with myself, I think I'm the most connected to life, to God. I'm the most connected to myself. So just reminding myself how it feels like then helps me to get into this state more often. So I can let go with gratitude of the things that I don't want to carry into the future. So there's an art to letting go, and I think the art is in gratitude. When we learn to be grateful for everything that happened, whatever we've been through, the losses, the pain, the thinking we don't have enough, these three major reasons that we get into this egoistic state of misery. We think we don't have enough, we think we've lost something, and we think we will never make it happen. Those are the three reasons that we fall into the egoistic, selfish state of misery and depression. And if we reflect on these three things, like why you think you have less than you should have. Because if you adopt this belief that you have exactly what you need right now, you will recognize that from that you can make magic, from that you can create something wonderful, and in the future, this magical work, this work of creating something out of nothing, will help you to be a great teacher and guide for those who find themselves in a similar misery. That's what I did, and that's what many people did. My first paintings are not painted on canvas because I had no money to buy canvas, so they're painted on old sheets by Maya's grandmother. And frames, so I've stretched them onto frames, are from Maya's father, from the wood they had stored at their home while they were building a house they're still living in. That's how my first paintings were created, and some of them have been sold and are very, very valuable now from their owners, which is something truly incredible, how a story like that becomes really meaningful for many people. So I just wanted to remind you of that sometimes when you think you have less than you need, you actually have exactly what you need to create something more out of it, because the process is what makes life so meaningful. That's what I often like to remind people when they're complaining and worrying about artificial intelligence, because now making art and making videos and everything can become really, really fast and easy, so people can stop valuing creative process. But me as an artist, I see the magic of art in the process of creating it. That's why I'm valuing it so much, because it made me who I am today. The process of, it's not the end product that you see, the painting that you see. Sure, it's something that came from a vision that I had, but the process created it. The process made me a better human. The process of creating it taught me the lessons of letting go, of surrendering, of trusting, of importance of building skills, and also trusting when we don't have them. The process is what creates this any act of art meaningful. And that's why I think it's important to teach younger generations. It doesn't matter how AI will evolve, to teach them creative work. I think it's something that shouldn't get forgotten, because that's what makes us us. Like a scientist will experience the most joy when he's doing researches, when he's doing studies in laboratory, when he's practicing and putting things together and experimenting and trying out. That's the magic. Like in a relationship, the point is in conversation, not in the final realization. But that whole process is what makes realization the most valuable, right? Because a connection is established. So that's why I'm not worried about AI and all these things, because I'm staying true to the process. I know we are here because of the process. Life is a process, evolution is a process, growth is a process, relationship is a process, spiritual growth is a process of consistent letting go and embodiment of the truth. So as long as we stay true to the process, we can use all these tools for making our lives more meaningful, but we'll never lose ourselves in them. And that's how I believe we'll come back to this, what Dalai Lama said, as in this time, people are being used and tools are being loved, while people should be loved and tools should be used. I think by falling in love with the process of any kind, we will come back to the realization that we should be loved, we should love one another, and we should use tools for what they're made, right? And when you think it will never happen, it's just a story of the past. You need to adopt the story of the future that will remind you that you are making it happen. Every time you don't quit, every time you don't surrender to fear, you're making it happen. You can't predict the time when it will happen because it doesn't matter. As I said, the point is in the process. The process is making you who you are meant to be. You've come here because of the process. And when you fall in love with the process, everything will become a product of love. And that has a huge power. So that's something I wanted to remind you as we are ending this year, just to say to yourself that the next year will be a year you love, a year of joy, a year of bliss, a year of happiness, a year that you will remember by how much you lived, by how much you loved. So once again, my friends, I'm truly grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for all the support that you've showed to me, and I hope my work can be support for you, for your growth, for your evolution, for your process of any kind of change you're going through. I'm grateful again to be in that position, and my friends, till next time, stay beautiful, have a wonderful celebration today. May it be meaningful, may it be loving, may it be something that you will remember as a great entrance into a new year. And keep an open heart, my friend. So thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy store. I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. And thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community, AttractPassion. Also, the link is in the description of this video. Stay beautiful, stay creative. Until next time, one love.